All right, there is a flowering dogwood. They're gorgeous. They only bloom for about a month. There's another one there. There's some back in the woods. I got them all over, and they're more and more growing, and I want to propagate them. Unfortunately, like I said, they only bloom for about a month, um, and that's about it. I wish they bloomed all year long. They're just so pretty. There's a cowboy outlaw Johnny Ringo, and there's Panda Girl. There's Miss Haley. There's Colton. There's all that greenery right there. Those green plants there, the shrub, whatever you want to call it. It's not really a shrub. I don't know what you actually classify it as, but it's wild black raspberry bushes or wild black raspberry plants. They're all over, and I literally have to cut them down every twice a year. I got to cut them back in the spring and in the fall. If I don't, they'll take over the whole property in one season, and I'm not kidding. All those little trees there with all the greenery, the green leaves already, those are also flowering dogwoods, but they're not. There's one there. They're all over. I'm letting those grow, propagating those, because I want them all over the place. Yeah, but otherwise, I've started clearing, as you can see, a bunch of downed saplings, and I have to clear out probably 80% of them, just because it's an unhealthy forest. This property was logged about 30 years ago, and it's full of mostly red oak and white oak. I got a bunch of cedar trees over here. And a bunch of cedar trees over here. I want those to fill in. I want to use those as a windbreak. That blue little tiny house is the cat's house. I'm in the process of building another structure for them, and I'll probably end up building probably a dozen structures for cats. It's cat sanctuary and rescue. We're going to be feeding them 100% farm raised livestock: chickens, quail, pheasant, turkey, duck, geese, partridge, guinea fowl, and I'll also be doing some aquaculture and raising some bass and bluegill, crappie, catfish, and I'll probably have a separate little lake for trout. But they're going to be having an all natural diet, but I'm not feeding raw. I just not into parasites, and yeah, cats can get parasites from eating raw as well. So I do cook for them. I am a chef. This June will be 48 years earning a paycheck as a chef. Yeah, I'm old. And now I'm using my culinary talents. I do cook for people, but I am using my culinary talents for my cats. They're what I live for. They're my passion. My two passions in life are food and cats, and not necessarily in that order. There's another flowering dogwood back there. White flowers there. You can see here we had a really bad storm last weekend. You see that washout there. The water just goes down there, and it was like a creek, and it's not a creek here. In the back of the property, there's a big one, but when it rains, it looks like that creek is there forever. It's just crazy. And I went to work. I pretty much stayed home the Friday it started storming until I went to work Monday morning. And when I got left for work, I almost went in a sinkhole. I missed it by about 2 inches. I didn't even know it until I got home from work, and I saw it. I thought, what the heck did I don't know how I missed it in the morning. And the county came by today. The county clerk told me that's my problem to repair it. The sinkhole was so big it could fit my whole Camry in it. of length, width, and depth, in which a tow truck would not have been able to get it out. I had to get it out with a crane if it fell in there. But the county, I called them and they said, "Oh, it's on your driveway." I said, "The driveway didn't happen from my driveway. It happened from all the water coming down the road. And you could see it all down the other people's properties." I said, "The sinkhole opened up on the road. And if you don't fix it, cars are going to fall in just driving by." She said, "Well, that's not our problem. It's on your driveway. You got to fix it." And it would have cost me thousands. Rental heavy equipment to do it, and then loads of rock and big soil and big gravel, little gravel on top of that, and culverts. I already have two culverts in. I would have had to put a bigger one in, something big enough for me to fit inside to keep that from happening. So I got home from work today, and the county grader, who grades my property once a year, not my property, grades my driveway. My driveway is 1/4 mile long and steep. He grades my driveway once a year for free, and he came on his own. His name was Vester, good man. He came on his own and fixed everything. I couldn't believe it. I was so surprised. Saved me so much money and time, and I've been stressing about it. But just a little view of all the trees, and like I said, some of it I cleared already. But I gotta clear. I gotta do it, because if I don't, the whole forest will be unhealthy. I gotta clear out the saplings and make room in some of the other trees, the not quite mature trees, but some of the mid or young trees. I gotta clear them out so that it doesn't. Guys, stop! Ringo, leave him alone. I gotta clear it out so that the forest can be healthy, and otherwise they choke each other out. They don't end up being strong, and winds come whipping through here, and you'll see down trees just from the wind, because the trees are weak. Root systems don't get get weak because they're all fighting for the same nutrients. And so yeah, I start clearing out in here. You can see a little bit better, but in here, back there, you can see after another 50 yards, you can see you can't see into the woods. Right now there's no leaves. Next month I could take this same video and you won't be able to see half a foot in any direction back there. And that's how this whole thing was, until you can see where I've been clearing. Hey, Miss Haley, what's going on, girl? Yeah, Ringo's harassing Tommy Lee. He's got to get neutered soon. That young man. Hey, Panda, what's going on? Good girl, Panda. Well, thanks for watching, everybody.